Great, Lee. I mean, there'll be some people who won't really want to hear any word of you entering the championship, being a double winner, but certainly going back to Sean Brown now. Sean, you've been unlucky to fall out of this competition now, but who would be your tip for this week here, this semi-final, should I say? When you look at who we've got in there, who's your money on, Sean?
This has got to be the only person who hasn't had to make an overtake in this entire competition. Ed White's got 4 poles, 4 wins, and pretty comfortable in most of them. It's got to be him.
Well, Ed White's a pretty good place to start. Lee Hackett, where's your money this first semi-final?
The first semi-final, Ed White. Definitely put up a challenge.
Okay, well that's interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, as Ed White's already gone, and he's Sean's pick, are you going with Laporte? Okay. Jake, we're going to ask you third. Yeah, well, I'd let you come. Ed White and Greg Laporte already taken, so who's your money on it?
I think, hard.
Who have you had the hardest fight with?
Who have I had a hard fight with in here? Is it Brian Crew?
Yeah, he's had some great results.
He's had some really good results so far. Michael O'Brien, semi-final, Michael O'Brien, definitely.
Okay,
really
so
good.
Michael O'Brien then for Jake Campbell-Mills. And let's have a look here. Well, do you know what? I'm going to go with Brian Crew. Brian Crew, now I hadn't heard of him before, but certainly I'm impressed with what I've seen from Brian Croon. So Brian Croon is the commentator's tip on this one. And what about that? Brian Croon comes in second fastest. My goodness. Now let's have a look here. Well, what a shock. We've got some shocks here because Greg Laporte, former world champion, is only in 9th. So the results here, Ed White, fairly predictably, is on pole, as predictable as you can get for a semi-final. Brian Croon, commentator's choice, is lining up second there. So well done by Croon. Bjorn Vermeulen, another of the visitors, the highest place of the visitors in this one, foreign visitors. Bjorn Vermeulen is coming third. Russell Ending, well, we've seen Russell Ending perform at a British Championship level before. He's won BRKC races, he's 4th. Michael O'Brien, well, Michael O'Brien, a multiple winner already this weekend. He's lining up in 5th. Michael Holdcroft, well, he's performed fantastically all weekend long. Crispin Zerka, local man, pops up in 7th place. James Martin comes in 8th. Greg Laporte, well, he's the twice champion Lee Hackett's tip for victory, and well, Lee, I don't think anyone will want you picking him in the future, will they?
Don't know what happened there. He must have made a mistake on track. Still fancy him to move forward from that position, definitely.
Yeah, Greg Laporte, he can never be discounted. He is a former world champion, and so he's not without talent, that's for sure. And Oliver Baiani rounds out the starters there in 10th place. So we're looking now down towards the start line there. On screen we can see there's Ed White up at the front. We're in the commentary box here. It's rammed with worthy people. We've got Sean Briley here, Lee Hackett, twice champion of BRKC, Jake Campbell-Mills. All of these guys competed various kart events in the world, so they'll be helping me figure out what the heck's going on up here in this first semi-final. We've got Ed White now. We've seen some dodgy starts by Ed White, but it's a great start. And we're going to go green on this one, surely. Great, so Ed White leads him away. Brian Croon, he's running in 2nd place. And then in 3rd place we've got Vermeulen. Bjorn Vermeulen, one of the visitors, and Russell Endine is behind him. Michael O'Brien is 5th. Now Michael O'Brien is quite a feisty little performer there, and we can expect to see him trying to move up past Russell Endine, but that's never going to be an easy thing to do. Endine getting defensive already. Keep an eye in here towards the back for Greg Laporte, former world champion. There he is, 1 up from the tail. Meantime, we've got Ed White. Ed White comes round to complete the opening lap. It's Ed White leads the opening lap. If they go out of view on the camera, and there they are in the snail section. It's Ed White leading the way from Brian Croon. An incredible performance by Brian Croon. I'm not sure that Brian Croon's actually won one of the races yet. Where is Croon in the standings? Just trying to find his stats for the weekend. I'm sure he's not won. Yeah, Brian Croon has got through on the basis of 2 second places and 2 third places. So he's not actually won a race, and just about everybody around him has. So Brian Croon really working very well to be in that same place. Have we got a pit visitor? Yes, we have. It's Baiani. Oliver Baiani picks from last place. He's going to obviously resume last, but maybe he figures he's better served on his own without following world champion Greg LaPorte. And well, that's an interesting thing to say. Kroon figures, sorry, not Kroon, Baiani figures that he's got a pit to prevent a former world champion holding him up. That's quite something. Jake, what do you think of these opening laps? Pretty nose to tail, but everyone absolutely joined on speed.
Yeah, I believe that Ed is defending. I think I know why. I had his carts on the last heat, and it's not easy. It's quite slow, so I can't believe he's got pole. But yeah, I can see his lines are a lot more tighter than in Elmia, so I think he's planning to defend the whole race.
Absolutely, and being defensive is going to slow him down. James Martin has pitted as well, so James Martin resumes now. He's come out ahead of Oliver Baiani, so James Martin comes out of the pit lane in 9th place now. It's one thing saying about the car being slow, but Ed White did put it on the pole position, so it's obviously not that slow. Ed White being so defensive is probably causing it. Someone else in the pits, well, it's Bjorn Vermeulen. Oh, a great move in the pits there by Bjorn Vermeulen. This is looking like a very good stop. A double stop, yes. And it's still Ed White. Bjorn Vermeulen comes out in 8th place. That's looking good for him. So Bjorn Vermeulen, one of the early stoppers, but it's Ed White. But Brian Kroon, look at Brian Kroon go. He hasn't won a race at all this weekend, but he may end up winning the semi-final if he carries on like this. As Ed White carries on. Lee Hackett, twice BRKC champion in the past. Lee, what do you think of this?
Not far for Lee. Fairly standard start.
Absolutely, and if anyone's going to be able to strategise his way out of that situation, it's going to be Greg LaPorte. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's got the racing brain and the racing maths figured out. Meantime, while we were talking to Lee Hackett there, we had in the pits, it was Michael O'Brien. Now we're looking at the leaders on the camera there. That's Ed White. He's up against Brian Kroon. Now Brian Kroon has not won a race. Ed White has won 4. So Ed White undefeated, and Brian Kroon hasn't yet to win a race this weekend. But he's certainly staying there with Ed White, and they're pulling clear of the opposition. We've got Russell Endine in 3rd, and to be fair, Russell Endine is being left by the 2 leaders. Brian Kroon is all over the back of Ed White now. They're coming down the backstretch now. Down the backstretch they go into that tight hairpin at the end. What's going to happen here? Well, Brian Kroon not able to make a move, and Ed White hanging on there in the lead. But Ed White, so far, this is the toughest racing he's done. Ed White has normally been making a gap and disappearing in the distance, and it's just not happening in this race. Going to go over to Jake Campbell-Mills. Jake, you've won a couple of races. Now, Ed White has not been under this kind of pressure all weekend, has he?
No, definitely not. It's weird having someone behind him. I think Ben's, Brian Green's doing a brilliant job of holding him out, but I think he's definitely struggling on karts. Hopefully, I think this race will be won on pit stops.
Well, it's interesting that you think he's struggling because he put it on pole and he's led every lap so far. But
he's defending a lot.
James Martin had to make an extra stop because his first stop was deemed incorrect by the organisers. Michael Holcroft has just taken a pit stop here, and he's going to rejoin. He's just lost 1 place really to Bjorn Vermeulen, but he has come out ahead of Michael O'Brien, and that's going to be crucial for him. O'Brien's really working hard on him out of view. In the lead though, that's still Ed White. Ed White starting to defend now against Brian Kroon. Russell Endine there with Crispin Zerka up to 4th. Crispin Zerka, who's frankly struggled most of this weekend. He's just scraped into the semi, but Crispin Zerka, a former local ace, he knows this track here at Formula Fast very well indeed. And Crispin Zerka, with the blue suit, the white helmet and the blue flash on it, he's coming up to 4th place ahead of former world champion Greg LaPorte. Now Greg is inching his way up the order now. He started way down near the back. He's yet to make a pit stop, and that's going to be a factor. But Greg LaPorte already taking himself up to 5th place. 9 laps into the books, and there's Ed White coming through into the stadium area. There's Greg LaPorte just going off camera, and there's Ed White leading the way from Brian Kroon, Russell Endine and Crispin Zerka. And there's Greg LaPorte trying desperately to claw in. Now, if we look at the relative positions, Greg LaPorte started in 9th place, but he's actually about the same distance away from the leader, which is Ed White, as he was when he took that start in 9th. So Greg LaPorte clearly matching the leader for speed, and well, in fact, he has set a lap time faster than the leader. And Brian Kroon, though, is really the man looking most likely. Brian Kroon running second there. We can see in the white helmet and the red and white suit when the camera's on him. And they're coming into the snail area. We can see from this camera angle, they're in the snail area. There's Ed White in the lead and Brian Kroon is behind him. And, well, it all depends on what happens in the pit stops. I think Ed White's under the most pressure to make a good pit stop. Ed White, he's had such a lead already so far that it's not been important whether his pit stop's been good or not. This time, for the first time, it's vital that he makes a good effort of the pit stops. So we'll see how that one works out. Lewis Manley, if we can go over to you. Ed White, oh hang on, Crispin Zerka's in the pits. Crispin Zerka, he's pitted out of 5th place. No, sorry, 4th place. He's lost the position already to Greg Laporte, and well, he's battling there with Michael Holcroft. He's going to hold him off. They're either side of him, and Michael O'Brien takes Holcroft 4th position in the confusion with Crispin Zerka. They're fighting for 6th place, and going back to Lewis Manley, Ed White, he's under huge pressure from Brian Kroon. Now, we've not yet seen White under such pressure, so any time he's had to make a pit, he's always had a fair bit of time in hand. So Ed White is under pressure to make the perfect pit stop. What do you think?
Indeed, yeah. It's great to see he's under pressure because how dominant he's been in the heat this weekend. It's just incredible, and how smooth he is on the wheel. And to have 5 poles in a row, it's just perfect for it. But it's great to see he's more under pressure in this one. It's all going to be about the pit stop, so it depends where Ed and Bjorn come out in together. But it's going to be very close for sure. Absolutely
right. So we're going to have to watch that pit stop, Ed White. We're looking at him on camera now. There's Ed White with Brian Kroon. Now Brian Kroon, he's not yet won a race, and this looks like most like, oh, in the pits it's Russell Ending. Russell Ending is out to 3rd place. Can Greg Laporte move up? And the answer, well, it's going to be yes. Greg Laporte comes up into 3rd place, and Greg Laporte now needs to be going as fast as he can to make it so that he comes out of the pits ahead of some of the people he was behind. Oh, and
past Crispin.
Crispin loses some more places. Crispin Zerka, in fact, he's lost another place. Michael Holcroft. Crispin Zerka, we've been talking to him quite a bit up here in the last couple of days, and you know, everyone online has been listening to his version of events, and he's lost another place down there. There's Crispin Zerka in the white helmet with the blue flash on it, and Lee Hackett, obviously, really, although you're a twice British Rental Car Championship champion, really need to put your World Championship head on for this sort of event, really, don't you, in the format? What do you think of Ed White's situation? As from the World Championship, you know what it's like to this kind of pit stop format. Ed White, he's got no scope for this going wrong, has he?
Massive talent here today. I feel that Ed has performed really well so far. This has been his toughest race. With Brian like so it's definitely going to go down to the pit stop. Brian looks like he has a bit of pace over in a minute, that's why he can keep up, so we'll see who pits first.
Absolutely right. So you heard it from double British champion there, Lee Hackett. He thinks it's going to be down to who pits first. Well, we'll see who does pit first. Certainly Ed White's got no intention of pitting first, nor is Brian Kroon. Brian Kroon's going to keep that pressure on Ed White. Kroon is going to make sure that Ed White has to keep it neat and tidy. Those two are pulling away from 3rd place, which is Greg Laporte, and they've actually set quicker laps than Laporte now, so Laporte does need to get his foot down if he wants to win this race. However, Laporte does have a lot of points in the bag and still could make the final, but we'll see how it shapes out, because points are important right from the off. In the first seat, your points do count. Meantime, if we look a little bit further down the order, we've got Bjorn Vermeulen and Russell Ending. Now, Vermeulen there is running on his own. Russell Ending has got the close attention of Michael O'Brien. O'Brien's trying to pass him. They're on the back stretch now. There they are. They're in the camera view now. So there's Russell Ending, and there's Michael O'Brien. And O'Brien's trying this way and that. And now he's got Holcroft working on him as well. And Crispin Zerka's coming back into play. So this is a big battle brewing, and they're fighting over 4th place with Bjorn Vermeulen heading that particular queue. There they are in the snail section there, and really we can. Bjorn Vermeulen is a little bit in front of that queue, so it's not really fair for me to say he's heading it. It's Russell Ending who's having to hold off Michael O'Brien, but Michael Holcroft and now Crispin Zerka are going to have something to say about that. In fact, it even looks as if Oliver Baiani is closing in on that group as well. He's clearly wanting a piece of the action. Baiani's there. There is Baiani now on camera shot in the dark clothing as as they run through towards the start section. That 4 is soon to become 5 if Oliver behind it. And there's a move, it's Michael O'Brien. Michael O'Brien, we've seen pull off some great moves this weekend, and he pulls off another one. Are the marshals going to like it? Yeah, it was a bit robust, but heck, it's karting. And Michael O'Brien now moves up to 5th place. Surely he's going to be trying to close down on Bjorn Mueller. There's O'Brien in cam shot. There's O'Brien leading the way now, this group of 5. So O'Brien has passed Russell Ending. We're looking at Crispin Zerka with Michael Holcroft. Crispin Zerka's moved up ahead of Holcroft. While we were busy watching O'Brien, in that confusion, Zerka's made a move, and Zerka has moved up to 6th place at the expense of 7th place at the expense of Michael Holcroft. 6th place ahead of him is going to be Russell Ending. Now, are we going to get any leaders pitting? No, we're not. So on camera there, they're the first going out of view there. It is Ed White leading from Brian Kroon. So Ed White versus Brian Kroon, that battle just goes on and on. As Lee Hackett said, the double British champion, Lee Hackett reckoned it was going to be down to who's pitted first. Well, we'll keep an eye on that particular story as Oliver Baiani has now caught that main group there. It's Michael O'Brien leading that group, trying to pull away and catch up with Bjorn Vermeulen, but they're all going to try and come with him. Oliver Baiani.
Here we go.
Oh, and here we go into the bits of Brian Kroon. Brian Kroon bits out of 2nd place. He was the commentator's tip for victory. Greg Laporte is going to take that place off in Brian Kroon. The pit stops are good. Kroon's now thrown the gauntlet down to Ed White. Ed White is going to have to do one heck of a job in the pit stops because Brian Kroon, he's running very fast. A great pit stop there. Two times you got to stop in the pits, at the beginning and at the end, and Brian Kroon has made a good job of that. So we're looking at the stadium area. There's James Martin coming through. He's lower down the other. Now there's Ed White. Ed White's coming in. Ed White's coming in. So Ed White's going to have to be perfect. For the first time this weekend, Ed White does not have the lead he wants. Greg Laporte's going to take the lead. But what about Brian Kroon? Has Brian Kroon enough? The answer's going to be no. Ed White's going to get out just in front. Oh my goodness me. How close do you want that one? Michael Weddle, you're in the next heat race, next semi-final. What do you think of this semi-final?
I mean, this race has just gone on and on. It's incredibly important for Ed to win this, mainly because if he gets this again, he's got the maximum points he can. He's got the fastest lap in the day so far, so he's going to get the first pass in the final, and that's going to be proven if he's really going to win this race. So Ed's defending the whole way around. It's going to be tough.
Absolutely, and we're looking on screen. That was Michael Weddle giving his version of events. You're going to be able to watch Michael Weddle in the next heat race. So Michael Weddle there, that was his opinion, and you'll see him in action in the final, in the 3rd heat race, as Ed White continues to defend against Brian Kroon. Now Brian Kroon is really getting racy now. He's been trying left, he's been trying right. They're coming onto the back stretch now, so that long back straightaway. Here they come. There's Ed White now. Ed White's so defensive, that'll cost him going at the final turn. There's Kroon with the light coloured suit, the red and the white. He's all over the back of Ed White. Ed White has had 4 wins out of 4. He has the fastest lap of the weekend. But Brian Kroon, what a performance there. And Bjorn Vermeulen is closing in on a pair of them. Greg Laporte continues to actually lead the race, but it's a bit of a false lead because he hasn't made a pit stop yet. So we'll be expecting Greg Laporte to come in very soon, and that'll give the lead back to Ed White. Kroon will be 2nd, Bjorn Vermeulen 3rd, but Bjorn Vermeulen somehow has caught right up with those 2 leaders. So he may well be making it a 3-way fight for the lead once Laporte's pitted. Laporte still does not pit. Laporte going to be playing the longest game of all. We've seen Laporte so far this weekend go seriously deep into the race before making a pit stop. Sometimes even pitting on the last possible lap. So Greg Laporte is trying to build up a bigger lead. He needs at least 10 seconds, possibly even 11 or 12, but he's only got 5 seconds at the moment. If he pits now, he's going to come out in something like 5th or 6th place. So Greg Laporte still, although he's leading, does need to make up some time. So there's the battle for 2nd. On screen now, it's Ed White versus Brian Kroon. There's Bjorn Vermeulen. Greg Laporte goes out of view as Ed White and Brian Kroon come into it. There they are, White, Kroon, and there's Bjorn Vermeulen. Bjorn Vermeulen is trying to make a race of this. So, Lewis, can you see Bjorn Vermeulen catching those 2 front runners there?
I think he can, because if Ed keeps defending, then the 3rd place guy is going to get very close to them. I can't see Ed White losing the lead. When he's defending, he's just no way through. It's just impossible to pass. He's just unstoppable at the front.
Right, so you heard it there from Lewis Manley. Basically, the gist of what Manley's on about is that Brian Kroon has his hands seriously full He's in a great position to tackle Ed White, but as Lewis Manley said, White's very good at being, shall we say, fairly wide in the cart there, so going to be a difficult man to pass. But White, we can see, is putting on some very defensive moves. But that huge battle brewing up behind them with Michael O'Brien pulling away now from Russell Ending, Crispin Zerka, Michael Holdcroft and Oliver Baiani. So Michael O'Brien is starting to make inroads to Bjorn Vermeulen if he can. Now, there is Ed White and Brian Kroon coming around the long right-hander. Greg Laporte is away in the distance in the lead. However, he's only 5 seconds now. He cannot pull that distance any longer. Greg Laporte is coming onto the backstretch now. So there's the race leader. Sorry, that's James Martin leading way. Here comes Greg Laporte onto the backstretch. So Greg Laporte onto the backstretch now. That's him there. That's the race leader. The former world champion, Greg Laporte, who's yet to make a pit stop. That's Greg Laporte there in the hairpin. Now here comes into the stadium section Greg Laporte, but not far behind him, Ed White versus Brian Kroon. There's Ed White, there's Brian Kroon. And they're bringing Bjorn Vermeulen along with them. Still, Greg Laporte does not pit. They're on lap 30 now, only a couple of laps to go, surely. And Greg Laporte will be pitting on any lap soon. And, well, Greg Laporte, where's he going to come out? He's actually lost a little bit of time to those behind him. And so Greg Laporte, he's looking like it could be 5th or 6th he comes out. So it's clearly going to be, and Ed White and Brian Kroon side by side on the backstretch into that final bend. There they are. Kroon looked to the right of him as Ed White was getting super defensive. How do you feel about this, Lewis? Do you feel that Ed White's been a bit excessively defensive? Is he losing time?
He's very defensive, absolutely, yeah, but he will lose a few attempts where he's defending, but it's only 2 minutes to go now, and the leader's yet to pit. Obviously Ed will regain the lead, but I can't see Ed losing the place to Brian, but when there's super under pressure.
Sorry to cut in on you, Lewis. We're expecting Greg Laporte in this lap, and Greg Laporte is in this lap. The race leader pits out of the lead. There he is. How much time will he lose? Ed White goes through and takes the lead, and Brian Kroon second. Here comes Bjorn Vermeulen past him. We're looking at Greg Laporte in the pits. There, Laporte, number 8, leads the pit lane. Can he hold off Michael O'Brien? Yes, he can. And Greg Laporte assumes 4th place, which, to be honest, is one more than we thought he was going to have. Greg Laporte, incredible. Yes, absolutely. I was going to come on to that. What do you think about this one? It's Greg Laporte from, as you say, 9th on the grid there. It's Lee Hackett, twice British champion. What do you feel about Laporte's performance?
Very, very impressive. He obviously struggled with the car in qualifying. Very fast pace in the race. He's managed to pull out the bike, perfect. That's what he needed.
Absolutely, and it has to be said, Lee, that you and I both raced again in a lot of races with Greg Laporte now, and Laporte, he's got the racing brain, hasn't he? He's got the speed, but he somehow can strategiise his way around problems. He knows how to think it. He knows how to make it happen, really.
Yeah, he's been racing for long enough now to know what needs to be done. He's got to defend for this position now for the final lap. See what he can do.
Absolutely right. Now there can't be much time left. We've got the leaders coming through now. There they are on screen. It's Ed White from Brian Kroon. Now this distance has been all race long. Ed White has had to put up with pressure from Brian Kroon. And Brian Kroon, what a performance he's put on this weekend. Brian Kroon currently running in 2nd place, and that's really where he's been all weekend long. He's had 2 seconds, 2/3 in his heat races. This is by far his best performance, although he's been showing very, very well indeed. Ed White and Brian Kroon. Kroon's alongside and can't make it work. Here comes the checkered flag. It's going to be the first semi-final win. Goes to Ed White with Brian Kroon in 2nd. 3rd place, Bjorn Vermeulen, and 4th, the incredible former world champion, Greg Laporte. Greg Laporte, 4th from Michael O'Brien and Russell Ending and Michael Holcroft and Crispin Zerka and Oliver Baiani. Absolutely nose to tail there behind Greg Laporte. So Greg Laporte was 4th and 9th was Baiani. And what about a second or so between them? So an incredible opening semi-final. Lewis Manley, you're out in the 3rd semi-final. It's a tough one, that, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Just got to get a good lap in, try and get the competition again, as I've done the track one twice. Just try and get away. As you saw in the first semi-final, everyone just won brilliantly. He's just too good, just unbeatable.
Absolutely, but that's the first time we've seen Ed White really have to work for it. Ed White has had all of his races where he's just pretty much checked out. He's managed to find extra speed on everybody else, but this time Brian Kroon, who we haven't seen in as a winner of any races yet. So he's, as I say, he's had 2 seconds, 2/3 to get him into the semi-final, and now he's got a second in the semi-final. Hopefully that'll propel him into the final, because it is done on points. You do need to score the points. Making the semi-final, it's not knockout in the sense that a lot of regular kart enthusiasts might understand knockout or any other kind of sport. Getting into the semi-final just gives you the right to keep scoring points, is about the best way of describing it. Certainly the right to keep scoring points pushes you further up the championship table. Those who don't make the semi-final, in other words anyone outside the top 30, they then lose the right to keep scoring points, so obviously they're going to stay where they are. It's the same in the final, so it can be a situation where the person winning the final is not necessarily the champion. It is, as I say, done on points, so making the semi-finals, making the final just keeps giving you the right to continue scoring. But what a race there by Ed White. Nobody scored more points than him this weekend. He's got 4 wins in the bag. The pressure's going to be on in the next race, because Matthias Grooten, another former world champion, he is actually in a similar position to Ed White in the sense that he has won 4 races. Now, having won all 4 heats, if Matthias Grooten can win this semi, that will still tie him on points with Ed White. However, he's up against some tough opposition, because guess what? His first competitor after Matthias Grooten is Ruben Boutens. Ruben Boutens, the reigning British, Belgian and Dutch champion. Ruben Boutens is in there. He won here last year. Jake Campbell-Mills is going to be up in this race as well. He was up here in the commentary box talking a moment ago. We've got Kim Ensign, who we've seen win Sander de Beeks. What a performance he's shown this weekend. Brad Philpott, the championship organiser, an expert karter himself, karter of world standard, and also a former factory Peugeot race car driver. Anneleen Boutens, former ladies world champion. Gary Jones, what a performance we've seen from Gary Jones this weekend. Dan Truman and Slavek Piskors, the Polish driver, who he's in his first year of, well, starting his second season in karting. He's already won a championship last year, but of course he has got extensive motorsport experience as a speedway rider. Slavek Piskors, a former speedway rider. Lee Hackett, what a great show we saw there. If we look on screen there, we've got the 18 car. That's Ruben Boutens, the reigning champion, and well, he's going to try and win this race and put himself up in championship contention again. So we've seen a great race there in the first race. There's Bradley Philpott, the championship organiser. Everyone loves Brad. He's done a great job of bringing this BRKC on, hasn't he?
He does a good job. It's really nice to see 90 drivers turn out for a weekend of racing. At the minute, it seems like we've all had a good time. First semi-final, exactly what we wanted, close racing. Hope this is the same.
Absolutely, and there's no reason to assume it's going to be any different. What's going to be interesting, though, is first one out to qualify. We're focusing with the camera there on the number 9. That's Ruben Boutens. The first one is going to be Jake Campbell-Mills. There's Matthias. No, it's not Matthias. Yes, it is Matthias Grooten. Now there's Jake Campbell-Mills. He's going to be the first one out to qualify. He has been 3rd in the World Junior Championships for. There's Matthias Grooten, potentially one of the greatest drivers in the world in the 14. He has 4 wins this weekend. Anneleen Boutens, former ladies world champion, and there's Gary Jones and Ruben Boutens, just giving a little bit of a gap there for Gary Jones. He obviously doesn't trust Gary Jones to quite be at his pace. This is Slavek Piskors, former speedway rider, and the rest come on out. As the last few come through, we're looking there, that's Sander de Beeks, and Brad Philpott is going to be the last one out to qualify now. Brad Philpott is giving a bit of a gap to Sander de Beeks, just in case anything happens with de Beeks. Philpott doesn't want to be part of it. So Jake Campbell-Mills, he's going to cross the line. There he is, crossing the line on screen now to begin the qualifying run. This is so crucial to get a high qualifying place. Now we saw in the last semi-final how Ed White qualified in pole and Brian Kroon was 2nd, but Greg LePaul only managed 9th, yet came through to 4th. Certainly that's not something that's really an ambition, is it, to start 9th and come through 4th? You'd want to be on the pole for this one, you reckon, Lee?
Qualifying is essential. You've got to get that quick time in, start high up on the grid, but it does show that you can, it's not the end, if you don't qualify the front, you can work your way forward.
Absolutely, a very fair system this one, where drivers have to qualify for each heat race. Now what have we got? Well, we've got Matthias Crutzen on provisional pole at the moment, Jake Campbell's second, Annelien Boutsen's third at the moment. We've got Gary Jones, but no, Ruben Boutsen's the reigning BRKC champion, has taken the pole ahead of Matthias Crutzen. That's going to be very interesting indeed. We've still got some fast drivers coming through, but it's looking good for Ruben Boutsen's. Ruben Boutsen's maintains his pole position, and well, the reigning champion is on the pole there, and well, he's trying to equalise you really, Lee. I'm up here with Lee Hackett, who is a double British champion in BRKC. Ruben Boutsen, he's trying to match your score, Lee.
I wish him luck. Hopefully, I hope he does it. It would be nice to say I'm on the same level as him. He's a world-class driver, so it's great.
Well, to be fair, Lee, he's trying to prove he's on the same level as you, so at the moment it's sort of the other way around. Ruben Boutsen is the man to prove something. Lee has already proven he's capable of winning the BRKC title, the British Championship, more than once, and Ruben Boutsen is trying to do the same, and he's starting that by putting his kart on pole for the semi-final. He's got Matthias Crutzen behind him, though. Having said that, Matthias Crutzen and Ruben Boutsen, they've done so many races against each other over the years. They know exactly where each one sits. So Crutzen there. Now we've got Ed White up here. Ed, fantastic show, Ed. You've got 4 wins in the bag. You won the semi-final, and you're fastest here on the weekend. You must be feeling good and confident.
Yeah, feeling really good.
Yeah,
feeling really good about final today. Should be a good one.
Absolutely. Now, in that race, it's quite interesting. So far, we've seen you walk away with the races, to be fair. You haven't really been pressured on the other heat wins, but this time, Brian Kroon was there all the way. Could you feel him right there behind you all the way?
Yeah, all the way, definitely, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was just keeping an eye on both of them, really. I got Bjorn and Brian, but yeah, I thought Bjorn might jump us when I was defending, but yeah, we managed to sort of work it out and pull away from him.
Absolutely. Now, in that race, we had Greg Laporte, who started 9th. He came through. He led a long way, obviously, after you guys had pitted. But Greg Laporte, he managed to come through from 9th to 4th. I bet you're glad he started 9th and not 2nd, yeah?
Yeah, really glad. Yeah, I was keeping an eye on him as well. I didn't really know. Well, I didn't really see him on the board. I didn't know when he was starting. I thought he might have pitted and trying to overtake us on the pit stop. But yeah, after I saw the pit now,
superb there, right? Now, we're about to take the start for this race. We've got Ruben Boutsen's on the pole, obviously the reigning champion, but he's got Matthias Crutzen right behind him, and Jake Campbell's behind him, Annelien Boutsen's behind him. It's really not a nice place to be, that. But Ruben Boutsen leads him away. Matthias Crutzen is in second now. Will Crutzen go for an early move, or is he going to just follow Boutsen? They've been racing each other over the years for an awful long time. Ed, who do you actually see coming out of this one on top? There's quite a few drivers to choose from. Yeah, we've seen Jake get quite a few results there. We've got Ruben Boutsen still leading the way from Matthias Crutzen. There's Boutsen's on screen now, with Crutzen right behind him. 2 of the best kart drivers in the world there, in the lead at the British Championships. Ruben, of course, is trying to equal Lee Hackett's double championship, in fact, consecutive as well. Ed White, you're going to have something to say about that, of course, I'm sure. You don't want to let him get away with it, you fancy the start yourself. But Ruben Boutsen, he's not had it all his own way. Certainly, he's got Matthias Crutzen behind him. What do you think? If we can cut across, try and catch the word with Greg Laporte, if we can. Greg, obviously a great race there. You came from 9th from the grid to 4th, led most of the distance. You must be feeling pretty pumped about that one.
Yeah, because I was a bit down, to be honest, after qualifying. I already knew, I mean, the karts here are very close. The crew here does a fabulous job of leveling the kart back, but even there's always a little difference, and that 8th kart I knew it's not the best engine-wise, so, and I also was the first in line out of the pits to start, so I had no grip at all, and I didn't make real big errors, but it's all quality guys as well, so I lined it up in 9th, and then for the strategy, I couldn't really, I saw that it was really difficult to overtake us, so I
just waited for all the other guys to pit. Luckily for me, they started fighting a bit, and I managed to cover.
Well, it was an expert strategy, Greg. I mean, obviously you've been doing this a long time now, and you know exactly what you're doing, as that showed. Talking to people who've been there a long time, and you've raced against these guys for years now. We've got Ruben Boutens versus Matthias Grooten for the lead of this semi-final. Obviously, these guys, they know every inch of each other's game. How do you feel about them battling away? I mean, what do you reckon could happen here?
First of all, I mean, they're teammates too, so I'm pretty sure they won't do anything stupid. The main thing is to reach the finals, and that's where it's got to happen. So now both of them obviously will try and win, but Matthias won't try and move and make Jake Campbell Mills or Annalene profit from that. So I think they're both big boys, they'll be wise, and I assume that will be a nice and fair fight between them.
Absolutely, Greg. In fact, Grooten comes in the pits now. Matthias Grooten pits out of second place. In fact, if anything, I'm wondering there, Greg, if Grooten's reason for pitting at the moment is not so much to do with trying to pass Boutens, but to avoid any scramble with Jake Campbell Mills and Annalene Boutens. They both had a look at him. He seems to be trying to play sensible behind Ruben, but obviously he's got Jake Campbell Mills trying to make a fight of it, and Annalene Boutens. Do you think it might be not so much to gain a position as to not get in the fight?
Also, and maybe he wants, probably Ruben is driving a slightly tighter line with Matthias behind him.
Yeah.
So maybe now Ruben can like go 100% drive the ideal line, with Matthias doing the same in free air. So probably it looks like Ruben hasn't covered Matthias off immediately, so it will be one of them winning probably, but never sure of course.
Absolutely, we've got Jake Campbell Mills is really closing up on Ruben Boutens there, and as you say, Ruben's having to defend against Matthias, as Matthias no longer has anyone to worry about at all. He can just sit there and crack in the best laps he can, maybe even leapfrog Ruben Boutens for win.
Yeah, that will be his aim obviously, because I can see now that Jake is closing in on Ruben, so that gives Ruben a headache. Really, if he pits now and lets Jake in free air, then yeah, it's a tough call for Ruben. If you have to hold off two guys from the lead, it's not an easy position to be in, but he's experienced, and I'm pretty sure he'll
Absolutely, Greg. One final thing from you, Greg, and this is about the most unfair question of the lot. Who do you pick for the win?
Any of the 10. I mean, it's a runway qualifying, and there's pressure for most of them, I'd say.
Only for this race.
For this race?
Ruben and Matthias.
Okay, then, as it looks like now, I would put my money on the fields, looking on the laps.
Very interesting. So it could be Greg Laporte. He reckons Matthias Grooten could be the one to take this one, and that will mean that the early pit stop will play to his advantage. Of course, we can see now Ruben Boutens really having to defend heavily against Jake Campbell Mills. Annalene Boutens is running third, but she's about a car length behind. If I take Campbell Mills into the pits. So Campbell Mills, a great stop there. Gosh, he came flying in, didn't touch the wall at all. That was about the fastest pit entry we've seen. Jake Campbell Mills absolutely barreling in the pit stop there. We can see that one on screen. Campbell Mills comes out, obviously he's down in 6th place, but he's ahead of Matthias Grooten. Matthias Grooten, basically Grooten and Campbell Mills are nose to tail on the track. Campbell Mills just inching out ahead of Grooten there, and they came in the pit, when they both came in the pits, the position was reversed. Now it's Campbell Mills having to defend, so you see what Campbell Mills can do. Grooten knows this is going to be ultimately 4 position. No more pit stops for either of those two. Ruben Boutens is relatively clear. He's got his sister Annalene trying to chase him down, and Ruben Boutens there. Annalene seems to be closing in ever so slightly on him. This is a brother and sister battle, and they've been battling each other for years, haven't they, in karting. I keep saying they must have had some proper fights in the house with their kids as well. I can imagine that, Greg. But here they are. It's going to be a brother and sister battle for the lead, but neither have pitted yet. So it's Ruben Boutens and Annalene Boutens. Now a little bit further back, we've got Kim Ensign. And when I say a little bit further back, we can see on screen as we go around the snail section there in the background. There's Ruben and Annalene, but here comes Kim Ensign in third. And into the pits, Brad Philpott the second stop. Philpott, a penalty. Brad Philpott serving the penalty, a bit out of my sight. We're not sure what that one's about yet. We'll let you know as soon as possible. But looking on the screen there for you viewers at home, it's Well, that looks like Gary Jones there. Gary Jones is running in 5th place. And into the pits, Ruben Bouton pits out of the lead. So Annalene Bouton takes the lead position there. Jay Campbell-Mills trying to make a race of it. Jay Campbell-Mills on the back of Bouton, but Bouton's has got it covered. Jay Campbell-Mills really trying there, but Matthias Bruten making a move on Campbell-Mills. Bruten through on the inside on Campbell-Mills. So we pick up where we started from with a battle. Ruben Bouton's leading, and Matthias Bruten second, Jake Campbell-Mills third. Annalene Bouton, though, she is the one actually in 1st place from Kim Henson. Sander DeBates is in 3rd. Really, Sander DeBates is not a driver well known to us at the moment. He has come from abroad with this one. I believe he's a Belgian, but he's certainly showing good form this weekend. So, leading the way, Annalene Bouton is from Kim Henson. Those two need to pit those, so does Sander DeBates and Gary Jones in 4th. And then the highest place in the pitters, Ruben Bouton, Matthias Bruten, Jake Campbell-Mills. Brad Philpott has been elbowed back to last. Philpott having to serve a penalty in his own competition. So, well, that's an interesting one, isn't it?
Your poor boy, he had left wheel without the box.
Oh, right.
He knew it, guys.
It was so close.
It was, yeah.
Brad Philpott earning a penalty because on his actual pit stop, he was just outside the box when he came to a halt.
Annalene would definitely win this one because all the top wheel had it.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point. Lee Hackett, twice champion, he knows a thing or two about racing karts. He feels that Annalene Bouton can do this one because she's running out and around in the lead. She's been chased by Kim Henson, but the fact of the matter is, on screen there, that's the battle between Ruben Bouton, Matthias Bruten, Jake Campbell-Mills for 5th. There we are, following them through the stadium section now, on screen, as they're fighting now and holding each other up. Well, let's look at the lap times. It's, well, Annalene Bouton is faster than her brother, but slower than Matthias Bruten and Jake Campbell-Mills, but they are losing time. She's actually running half a second quicker at the moment in clear air. So there's Annalene Bouton, there's Kim Henson second. Swings back to the back straight. Here comes the battling Ruben Bouton, Matthias Bruten and Jake Campbell-Mills. The level of talent there, just unbelievable. Round into the stadium area. There they go. Ruben Bouton's 5th, Matthias Bruten 6th, and Jake Campbell-Mills 7th. And where's Annalene Bouton? Well, she's coming onto the backstretch now. Annalene Bouton is the race leader onto the backstretch. There she is. Second is Kim Henson. So there's the leader. Annalene Bouton is former ladies world champion, and Kim Henson is closing in on her. So Kim Henson trying to shut the Dutch lady down. She's only going, well, she's halfway through. She's still got a pit stop to make. So is Kim Henson. So it'll be very interesting for those two. Sander DeBates is continuing to run third. Gary Jones across the line in 4th. There is the red suit no doubt view. Here comes that Titanic still behind. Now these three have all pitted. They pitted and they came out amongst each other, so nothing to choose here. Ruben Bouton's in the lead. There's Brad Philpott, served a penalty in his own competition. That's a good one really, Lee, isn't it? So Philpott, the championship organiser, he gets blasted in the semi-final.
Very gutting for him. I'm sure his error is very, very close. He'll be gutted when he comes in.
Yeah, it has to be said, Philpott, one of the fairest racers you're going to find there. He certainly kicks off if he has an unfair move made against him, and he's man enough not to be unfair himself. So Brad Philpott, that won't have been intentional. He just made the error of having a wheel outside the box when he came to a stop. Unfortunately for Philpott, that's dropped him to 10th. There's no chance of him making the final now. He's not going to score enough points, but certainly enjoying his own contest. At least he'll be in plain clothes to dish out the trophies at the end. Okay, so Annalene Bouton continues to lead from Kim Henson and Sander DeBates. Now, as we said, Kim Henson closing in on the lady ahead. He is faster in every respect. He's faster on that lap, he's faster overall, and Kim Henson is going to make a race of this one. So, Crispin Zerka, we saw you put in a good performance in the semi there, but look at this. What about Kim Henson? We know Kim Henson fairly well there. What do you think his chance of catching Annalene Bouton and passing him for the lead?
I don't think he's going to be able to pass Annalene.
In fact, he's in the pit. Sorry, Crispin, to cut in there. Kim Henson makes a stop. The stop is good. And Henson moves to the second box, and the stop is good. No, it's not. Oh, Kim Henson loses tons of time. He's going to lose all those places. If only. What a shame there for Kim Henson. He almost came out ahead of the Ruben Bouton, Matthias Bruten and Jake Campbell-Mills battle, but that's put him right behind that 4. Now, Annalene Bouton she needs about 11 seconds, 10 or 11 seconds to come out in front of her brother Ruben. Now that's exactly the distance she's got now. If she can ease forward, if she can make some ground, she'll come out in the lead of that group there. If she doesn't, she'll come out right in the middle of them. And that's not really going to be too pretty, because Ruben Boutons, Matthias Crutzen and Jake Campbell-Mills, they seriously mean business, and Annalene Boutons, who also mean business, is going to come out right amongst them. This could be very interesting. When will the Dutch lady pit? We saw Greg Laporte in the previous race make up a huge amount of ground, running on his own in the lead for a long time. That's exactly what Annalene Boutons is doing now. She's driving a very similar race to what we saw from Greg Laporte earlier on. And Greg Laporte managed to come through and gain 5 places in that. So Annalene Boutons, certainly some merit to what she's doing. She's running very fast indeed. She's possibly the fastest. We're just checking all the times. I think Annalene Boutons, she's not quite fastest, but she's right up there. And fastest is Matthias Crutzen at the moment. Gosh, formidable driver Crutzen. He's a former world champion. But Annalene Boutons, is she coming in? No, she's not. She's going to run this one right to the end. I think she's going to do what we saw from Greg Laporte in the previous heat race, and that could be enough to win, because Annalene Boutons, she needs about 11 seconds or so to come out in the lead ahead of her brother Ruben Boutons, who will cycle into the lead of the pits. Now Sander de Bates is never going to come out in the lead once he's pitted, nor is Gary Jones. They're running second and third at the moment respectively, but Annalene Boutons, she just needs maybe half a second or so. If she can get one more second up on brother Ruben, who's running 4th, then she will indeed come out in the lead. So, looks like Gary Jones there, we're following through. He's in third place. Sorry, now there's the battle there. Ruben Boutons and Matthias Crutzen and Jake Campbell-Mills. They come around and through to clock up another lap. We're looking for Annalene Boutons to make a stop. There's the battle going on behind. Look at that. These guys are running so quick, but they are falling back. They are falling back on Annalene Boutons. Annalene Boutons could yet make this work. Annalene Boutons very fast around the track. We know that. She sat on the pole for the race here last year, the final. So not only did she make it through the final, she actually took pole position and led some way of it before her brother came steaming through. It's brother she's going to be worried about this time. I think she may have done enough. Lee Hackett, we're working on the idea that about 11 seconds is what you need. Annalene's got that 11 seconds. This could be very interesting when she pits.
It's going to be very tight when she comes out. At the minute, they are matching each other for pace. Maybe Annalene a little bit faster even, so it's going to be very tight.
There's going to be some serious pumping and boring when Annalene Boutons does come out of the pits. She still has not pitted. She's trying desperately to just claw back a bit more time. Well, it's kind of sitting there stagnant at about 11 seconds, so if she can do some more work. In the meantime, we've got Gary Jones. Gary Jones pits out at 3rd place. So Gary Jones, the 3rd place driver, is in the pits. He's going to come down the order a little bit. He's probably going to resume about 7th or 8th. Going to try and stay ahead of Slavik Piskorski if he can. I know he's lost position to Piskorski. It's Dan Truman who's worried about. In fact, Dan Truman is leapfrogged into Gary Jones in 9th. 3rd to 9th. Annalene Boutons, does she pick? No, she does not. Gosh, the lady from Holland is really playing this one, the fine one. She's going to run this one right to the end. She's on lap 27. We're only expecting about 32 laps, maybe 33 possibly. Ruben Boutons continues to head that group. They're now up to 3rd. Crutzen 4th. And look at these times. Kim Ensign is the man on the move there. He's trying desperately to catch up with that group of 4. Jake Campbell-Mills is ahead. Kim Ensign's only 6th. But at the head of the queue he's about to join is 3rd place, Ruben Boutons. Sander de Bates, we're looking for him to pit. Annalene Boutons did not. That's getting normal. I think she's going to run it right to the end. Sander de Bates seems to have a similar strategy. He's running in 2nd, coming through across the finish line now. Meantime on TV, that's Slavik Piskorski. There's Ruben Boutons up ahead. He's got Matthias Crutzen with him, and Jake Campbell-Mills and Kim Ensign. There they go. Ruben Boutons leads that group. It's the battle for 3rd place. The reigning British champion, Ruben Boutons, leads the group there against former world champion Matthias Crutzen and Jake Campbell-Mills, who competed for Great Britain at world level in the junior championship. Annalene Boutons still does not pit. My goodness, Lee Hackett. Annalene Boutons leaving this one late to pit like Greg Laporte.
Yeah, she's leaving it right to the last minute. I think she's got enough time to come in now and jump everyone. So I think she's got to do it now or never, really.
Yeah, I think so. When she does come out, it may be literally right front. Yes, I think she can do it now. 12 seconds for brother Ruben. When she does come out of the pits, It's going to be right in front of her brother though, so she's going to have to get a move on. There's certainly no scope for any kerfuffle in the pit lane. This is going to have to be very good. Surely it's this lap. Surely this lap. No, it's not. Annalene Booton stays out for one more lap. My goodness, she's making it to lap 20, lap 30 for Annalene Booton without a pit stop. Sander de Bates, he's also hanging out there. Sander de Bates is easy to overlook because when you're looking at the leader, Annalene Booton, and the third place battle headed by Ruben Booton. Sander de Bates in the middle of that now. He's 5.8 seconds back from Annalene, so when he comes out, he's going to be trying to stay ahead of Slavik Discourse, who's running 7th. So Sander de Bates is probably going to come out of the pit lane 7 now. Is this the pit stop for Annalene Booton? Yes, it is. Her hand goes up. Annalene Booton's in the pits. This is crucial. She's in the pit lane now. Here comes Annalene Booton. There we are. We can see her on the corner of the screen. How's this going to work out with Ruben?
And a good second stop.
Sander de Bates is coming in here. Annalene Booton, she's got a huge lead. A huge lead. Ruben Booton will see his sister next to the pit lane. He knows he's second. He will have momentum on her and he'll draw his sister in a little bit, but Annalene Booton has done enough to keep the lead. Annalene Booton's there. She's going to have to be caught and passed on merit, and there's almost no time left to do it. Surely Annalene can hang on for this one.
Perfect strategy. Wow, it worked again. Staying out for as long as possible. The guys behind were battling. She was clearly losing the system that time. So it's just overtaken on track now, not much time left.
Absolutely, hardly any time left at all there, Lee Hackett. The thing is though, is that Ruben Booton will have seen, and Matthias Grooten will have seen, that Annalene Booton has come out ahead of them. They all know it, so Ruben Booton is getting a huge amount of pressure from Matthias Grooten to either get a move on or get out of the way, because Matthias Grooten figures he can have a shot at Annalene Booton if possible, but there's really hardly any time at all. Surely the Czechs are going to come down soon. They're on lap 32. Down the backstretch, there we go. Annalene Booton's the leader. Ruben Booton second, and the rest. So Annalene Booton, she has about a 2 or 3 car lead. Look at the standard at the front here. 5 of them really in that train. The first place, Annalene Booton's a couple of car gap there to Ruben Booton's, and then about a car away is Matthias Grooten, Jake Campbell-Mills, and Kim Enson's got himself on the back of that train there. Now, how about it? Kim Enson really is absolutely driving his socks off. He's putting that much effort in, and he's only 5th. So Annalene Booton has the lead. She's looking very good for the win. The Czech is going to be coming out soon, surely. It's Ruben Booton. He cannot close in on his sister. She's got keeping that gap constant. Matthias Grooten, meantime, has caught back up with Ruben Booton. It's going to be the last lap, surely. And well, Ruben trying to close in on his sister. It doesn't look like it's going to happen.
That's the second now.
And yes, I think you're right, Lee Hackett. Lee Hackett just pointing out there that the battle is going to be for second. And Matthias Grooten is getting a little impatient now with Ruben Booton. It's going to be a last lap lunge, surely. And Jake Campbell-Mills has seen it, and the checker flag has been ready for Annalene Booton. Annalene Booton is going to be the winner. Annalene Booton takes the checker flag. Ruben Booton, her brother, is second. Matthias Grooten third. Jake Campbell-Mills fourth. Kim Enson fifth. Sander de Bates sixth. Slavik Discourse seventh. And here comes Dan Truman, Gary Jones, and Brad Philpott, 8th, 9th and 10th respectively. So what an incredible race there. What an incredible race. It's a fantastic victory there by Annalene Booton. Really, Lee, I believe the hard work there by Annalene Booton was done when she was running on her own. The other guys pitted a little bit early, she pitted late, and while she was running on her own, she was able to run out and create that gap that got her just into the lead.
Yeah, I can't believe it. In both races, with longer strategy to work, staying out as long as you can, seems to be the best way of it. And she was consistently fast, which was important. Luckily, her brother was bombing out the rest of the pack, and it worked. So she's incredibly strong in the one, right?
Absolutely, and what was also incredible was that the cars behind, that's Ruben Booton's, Matthias Grooten, Jake Campbell-Mills and Kim Enson, they were able to run so close yet so fast. So what Annalene had to do was she really had to do it on merit. There was no question of people bumping each other and falling over each other. They just didn't lose the speed. Annalene Booton certainly did not get the quickest lap. That went to Matthias Grooten, 33.5. And Annalene Booton's managed to win that race. Now, obviously, bearing in mind, you want to theoretically win at the slowest possible speed. That's kind of a quirky way of looking at it, but how you want it. Annalene managed to win the race without actually getting the best lap time, so she really had to think her way through that one. That was the second of the 3 semis. the semi-finals, and we've got the third of the 3 semi-finals coming up soon. So just to recap that semi-final, a fantastic victory there by Annalie Boutens, doing all the work when she was running on her own, and she managed to stay ahead when she came out of the pits ahead of her brother Ruben Boutens, the reigning champion reigning British champion. Matthias Gruten, former world champion, was third. Jake Campbell-Mills was fourth. Kim Ensign fifth. Sander de Beek sixth. Slavek Biscour seventh. Dan Truman eighth. Gary Jones ninth. And championship organiser Brad Philpott, he came in 10th. So we're moving now to the next heat race, and the next heat race is Lewis Manley versus Matt Barsh, Remy Drauska, Stefan Verhofstadt, Sam Spinell, Piers Pryor, Michael Weddle, Ian Anderson, Conor Marsh and Johnny Elliott. Well, potential winners everyone. Lee, looking at this final heat race, it's really hard to decide this one, because Lewis Manley he's the local man. He's been winning all weekend long. He's had 3 wins in the second. Matt Barsh, no one knew him before he arrived on Friday, and he ran Johnny Elliott really close in testing on Friday, and he's shown such a quick all weekend. He's won some races. Remy Drauska, we all know, very fast. Stefan Verhofstadt, same thing. Sam Spinell, probably. It never quite works for Sam Spinell. He's very fast, he's even got a good racing brain, but somehow bad luck comes his way, something gets in the way of the time. Piers Pryor, we've seen him win. Michael Weddle, obviously no one known Michael for years. Ian Anderson being supremely quick all weekend. Conor Marsh, seeing great performances by him, he's running at the front all the time. And Johnny Elliott, fastest in testing, but hasn't had the luck so far. I'm not sure which way to call this one now. What do you think is going to happen here, Lee? Who could be, certainly give us a top 3?
All competitive, very good. All the semis have been competitive. I'm just looking at the card draw now. It seems that the people at the sort of qualifying last have that slight advantage, maybe half a tenth. It seems like Michael Weddle is actually the last driver to cross the line. I think he's got a good car. I reckon watch out for Michael Weddle at the end of the qualifying.
Superb. So a potential dark horse there in Michael Weddle. Certainly, when it comes to results so far this weekend, there's a lot of other people in that in this semi-final that have a better set of results than Weddle, but Weddle, the ever-popular Scotsman, he's going to be there or thereabouts. Johnny Elliott, this is his last chance to really do something. He may be out of the competition. Even if he wins this, he may not have enough points to make it through to the final, but Johnny Elliott's going to make this one. Now, twice champion Lee Hackett there made the point that the guys qualifying the rearmost cars coming out maybe having a bit of advantage, maybe just a fraction extra heat in the track when they come around to the qualifying lap. That might be what makes a difference. Having said that, we saw that Greg Laporte brought that point up earlier on, where he said he was the first out to qualify, and that was a factor in him being 9th on the grid. He came through to 4th, and Lawrence Hackett, we've got Lawrence Hackett here, father of Lee. You've seen your son win 2 British Championships. The format much different now, the format much more in line with the World Championship. How do you feel about what you've seen today? It's all the same names for the World Championship, isn't it?
More exciting. That was a fabulous race. I haven't seen Annalie win that one. I thought she was like all the same. I must say, I do prefer to watch the racing when he's not racing.
Michael Weddle's car hasn't picked up.
Absolutely, it's as far as you'd say. And
Michael Weddle's car hasn't picked up.
oh, and Michael Weddle. We've got a bit of a problem there potentially with Michael Weddle, and it seems like the transponder, as Lee Hackett points out, has not tripped the timer. Michael Weddle will of course say that's because he's unbelievably fast, and clearly he's on the pole position, even though it's not recorded. But well, we may have to pop him out again and see what he can do. But
Restart the whole of it.
yeah.
They only did one lap.
Yes, well, Conor Marsh, the times are coming through now, and Conor Marsh, gosh, he's fast. 33. Stefan Verhofstadt has gone quicker than Marsh, but well, Lewis Manley's getting bundled down the order. Ian Anderson, Lewis Manley, and Matt Barsh, who really you'd expect to be the ones who are the first 2 there. Weddle, it's just the times reset themselves, and well, Lee Hackett, your tip has come in 10th, Lee. So not really very good.
So both guys that I've tipped, Sky and Work back. Greg managed to get the 4th, so Michael did.
Yeah, well, that does bode well for Weddle. So you normally predict them to be on the pole, and they're near the back, and then they come forward. So that does. Yeah, Lee. But then Lee did put Greg on pole as well, and Greg came in 9th, but then came through to 4th. So maybe there's some. So Lee clearly seeing the world somewhat upside down, but anyway, Michael Weddle is in 10th place. Lee is in fact a double British champion, and so clearly what the heck does he know about qualifying? His two people are coming back, but we'll be keeping an eye on Michael Weddle and following his progress. Weddle, no mean driver himself, and it's perfectly realistic to think that he's not going to be 10th at the end. He'll push himself up the order. Stefan Verhofstadt, though. Stefan Verhofstadt, that's a really good effort to be on the pole. He's got Ian Anderson up there with him in 2nd. Conor Marsh is 3rd. Conor Marsh put in a great show. He's really trying his best, and Conor, it has to be said, he's one of the most sort of solid drivers out there. He only goes for moving on. You don't see him weaving all over the place behind someone, and normally if he starts a move, he finishes it off, and it works in his favour. Lewis Manley, this is the furthest down we've seen him so far this weekend. So Lewis Manley in 4th place. So far we've seen him with 3 wins and a 2nd place. He's the local ace, really. He competes in the championship here. So Sam Spinell, Barsh is the lowest we've seen him in 5th place. Sam Spinell in 6th. Remy Transco in 7th. These are winners, everyone. Johnny Elliott, the fastest on Friday. He's 8th place. And it's going to be race on, because here's Verhofstadt leading the way. We're going to go green on this one. That's it. Verhofstadt takes the lead from Anderson and Marsh and Manley. So let's see what happens here now. When it comes to speed, if we were playing golf early, we'd say these guys are all scratch golfers. They're all well on par and everything else, but there's going to be some double-digit handicaps when it comes to handling the pressure. I'm not sure Lewis Manley and Matt Barsh are going to be particularly patient about being 4th and 5th. They're going to try and get the front already. And we've got a move in the back. That's your tip. Michael Weddle makes a move already. What do you think of this, Lee? It could get a bit pushy and shovey out there.
I think everyone wants to be leading from the front, ideally. So Lewis is going to be pushing us on. He struggled a little bit on the start. I think that definitely pull that back.
Absolutely, Lee. I think you're right there. We've got a clear lead there by Stefan Verhofstadt. He's got a couple of kart lengths over on Ian Anderson. We can see as he come down. There's Verhofstadt. There's Anderson already getting defensive over Conor Marsh. Conor Marsh, we know his weaknesses. Now Stefan Verhofstadt. He's leading the way. And there's Anderson and Marsh and Lewis Manley, who we need to keep an eye on. Matt Barsh, the Polish driver behind Manley. And Barsh has been incredibly impressive this game. We've got a pit stop already. It's Johnny Elliott. Well, so far we have not seen the early pit stop paying off. It looks good when it's done, but it's not really been paying off. But Johnny Elliott clearly figures he's going to be faster than those in front if he can run in clean air. Johnny Elliott, it's been a tough competition for him. He was fastest on Friday, looked like potential champion, but not happening really. Stefan Verhofstadt around, another lap in the lead, and they're starting to get a little backed up behind Ian Anderson. Now, the pressure is probably going to be on Conor Marsh, because Marsh needs to make a bit of a move on Anderson, because Lewis Manley's not going to sit there too long. Weddle's in the pits, Michael Weddle in the pits, and the stop is good there, and there's the 2nd stop, and it's looking good for Weddle. He needs to come out ahead of Johnny Elliott. He's going to do that.
These guys need to work together now.
So Weddle and Elliott bringing up the rear, but they are the ones who've been in the pits. Now, will they have the brains not to fight, or do you think Johnny Elliott and Michael Weddle are just going to have some fun out there, Lee?
I think everybody's going to struggle to make the final, so they might as well have some fun.
Absolutely, I think it's going to be battle on. But Conor Marsh into the pits now. He pitted out of 3rd place. He's going to drop way down the order, but this could be very interesting because Conor is getting backed up a little behind Ian Anderson in 2nd. He was going to be under huge pressure from Lewis Manley and Matt Barsh. They were just going to probably be beating on him all race long. So Conor elects to pull out of that and set his own times in his own sort of company. Now, Conor Marsh has come out way in front of Michael Weddle and Johnny Elliott, so there's not under pressure behind them. Verhofstadt has now got a big lead. Look at that, Ian Anderson. So that's why Conor Marsh put in. And Remy Draskov's got the same idea. Remy Draskov feels he's going to be better served. Now, how is he going to come out with Conor Marsh? Because Conor Marsh is coming up to the pits. Vladimir Drazka comes out of the pit lane behind Conor Marsh. So Conor Marsh looking better. He's won the early pit stops. We've not seen it work, but it may yet work for Conor Marsh. So down there in the lead there, look at Stefan Verhofstadt on screen there. He's got a huge lead over Ian Anderson. Stefan Verhofstadt is really walking away with this one. And the most convincing performance we've seen so far with Stefan Verhofstadt there in the semi-finals. Ian Anderson behind him, Lewis Manley. And Lewis Manley and Matt Barsh are going to be seeing that Stefan Verhofstadt's pulling away in the lead there, and they're not really going to want to hang around. Ian Anderson's going to be under huge pressure to either speed up or get out of that second place.
Conor Marsh is absolutely flying, so that early pit stop, he needs to be consistent. 33.8 seconds there, he's pushing it all the way, so let's see what he can do.
Yeah, he's going to be worth keeping an eye on there, Conor Marsh. He's playing an interesting game there with early pit stop. And Lewis Manley, he's making early pit. Here comes Conor Marsh. Now can Conor Marsh pass Lewis Manley? It's going to be on the pit exit. Conor Marsh does it. Oh, a fantastic move there by Conor Marsh. And in fact, he's got a little bit of an advantage, about 3 cars. And there comes the leader, Stefan Verhofstadt, down into the turn at the end of the straight. That's the race leader we're seeing on the screen there. Stefan Verhofstadt in the stadium area now. He's got a huge lead. Look at that lead he's got. There's the second place on screen, Ian Anderson. And then third place comes in the pits. And third place is Matt Barsh. Matt Barsh pits out of third place. These are all very early pit stops. It's only lap 7. And most of the field's been in. And Matt Barsh, Conor Marsh is going to pass Barsh. Oh, yes. Conor Marsh and Lewis Manley passes Barsh. So Matt Barsh was hoping for a bit more. He really needs to stay out a bit longer there, I think, Lee. There's no reason for him to pit.
Using fairly clear air. He's trying to monitor the moves of the guy, I suppose, but I just did that there.
Absolutely right, Lee. I think just about everybody watching this agrees with that. They're staying out with the idea. And in the pits there is Sam Spinell. Sam Spinell is kind of following the herd as well.
This might work.
Stefan Verhofstadt is the one who's staying out now. Sam Spinell, oh, it's an awful pit stop. Spinell never gets the luck. He's really slow coming away from the safe stop. He knows it. He's waving his arms already. And just what does Sam have to do? It's always bad luck for him. And well, he was another one. There's no real need for him to come in the pits. Really not necessary for him to pit. It wasn't like he was being held up. In another pit, everyone's coming in so early. Ian Anderson. Ian Anderson's going to lose a place to Piers Pryor, and surely Piers Pryor is going to go through to about the second place, maybe. Conor Marsh going to come out and pass Ian Anderson. That's what that was all about. Conor Marsh pitting early. That was what he was interested in, because if you remember, when we started, it was Stefan Verhofstadt leading from Ian Anderson and Conor Marsh was in a logjam behind Ian Anderson, and that was why he needed to pit now. Those drivers who were in that logjam behind Ian Anderson, everyone's still in that logjam except Conor Marsh. This is possibly Conor Marsh's big moment. So Conor Marsh has pitted. He's behind Piers Pryor with the pink helmet. So if we look on screen, there's Conor Marsh going through with a big gap over Ian Anderson and Lewis Manley. Now Lewis Manley can expect to make some moves now on Ian Anderson. He can't afford to stay there too long. He has to take the position from what's his name? Ian Anderson. That's the one.
There's only 2 people to pit now. Stefan and
sorry, Lee. Say that again.
only 2 people to pit. Stefan and Piers. So I think this strategy is actually working for Conor. I think he can jump Piers in the stop, and Stefan is way too fast to catch him.
Absolutely, you have to feel that Conor's real plan for making that early pit stop was really about how he was going to pass Ian Anderson. He figured he couldn't just sit there. He needed to get out in some clear air of zone, and that is exactly how it's worked out. He has, whether by accident or design or just pure hope, he's made it work for him, and he's really pulling away from Ian Anderson while the others are all in that logjam behind. It's Lewis Manley, Remy Drazka, Michael Weddle are all stuck up behind him, and so is Sam Spinell and Matt Barsh, and just about the whole race is caught up behind Ian Anderson, except of course Conor Marsh. And Conor Marsh, there you see him on screen, racing away from Ian Anderson there. Still Stefan Verhofstadt in the lead, so don't forget the leader is Stefan Verhofstadt. Circulating around at the tail there is Michael Weddle and Johnny Elliott. But Stefan Verhofstadt, there he is on his own. You can see him on screen now through the stadium section past the pits. And Stefan Verhofstadt, the crowd are all up on high. They're way high in the sort of almost the rafters. The Gantry there is absolutely lined with people watching how Conor Marsh has been able to leapfrog Ian Anderson in the pits and race away after Stefan Verhofstadt. Now, Stefan Verhofstadt, as we've said so many times so far this weekend, it's this 11-second gap he needs to make up. If we look at this, Stefan Verhofstadt has 13 seconds on Conor Marsh at the moment. So Conor is actually lapping 0.3 seconds slower than Stefan. He actually is. So it's really, Stefan has done enough now. He can make a pit stop. The race leader can make a pit stop. I think that's Piers Bryan who's running in second there with a big helmet. That's Sam Spinell we're looking at on TV. That's Sam Spinell, the dual Belgian and British national. So he's in the back of that log jam. He, of course, is distraught to make a bad pit stop and lose a lot of time.
He's lagging behind, so
It's okay, I've got
you can announce that the timing is behind, it's not catching up, but it is still recording.
Okay, so the timing is a little bit behind, it's not catching up, but it is still recording, but we know where they are anyway. Stefan Verhofstadt is the race leader. Piers Bryan is in second, there is the pink helmet, the camera's on him now. And Sam Spinell there at the back of this main group. Oh, and look at that. Ian Anderson with Lewis Manley all over the back of him. Remy Dransco, Matt Barsh, Sam Spinell. They're all racing out now towards the snail section of the track. Lee Hackett, Conor Marsh is going to have to find some time, isn't he?
I think Conor is going to do it well. I think Stefan's got his race won. As soon as Piers wins, Conor will resume in second place. Really good race with him. I think Piers is going to drop back possibly behind this whole train. See how that works out. I don't think he's going fast enough to jump in at the stop.
Absolutely, we're looking on screen now. There's Ian Anderson, and Lewis Manley is really running out of patience with Anderson. He's been looking left and right, he's been trying to find a way through. Now Manley seems to be wanting to take his shot on the back straight. So they're going around the snail section, and Ian Anderson is good around that snail section. There you can see him on the screen there. Now we're going to come on the back straight. If the cameraman goes to the back straight there, we'll be seeing how Lewis Manley's going to be making a move. Lewis Manley's making a move. There he is. There's Manley in the blue suit. He's trying one way, he's trying the other. It's not happening. Ian Anderson hangs on the lead. It's the red suit, of Lewis Manley. Was taking a shot on either side there, but he cannot make anything stick on Ian Anderson. And well, there's that big log jam there. It's heavy hitters all the way, but Anderson's the one up in front. Piers Bryan's playing a long game. Stefan Verhofstadt still staying out there playing the long game. We're not sure how many laps are in. The timing has gone down for us. And yes, absolutely, Lee Hackett points out that Verhofstadt is not far off lapping the inside, pulling up towards the back of this big battle. It'd be funny if he does. Anyway, here's Bryan. He goes through. We see that he does not pit either. Here's that big battle. Look at that on screen. There's Sam Spinell at the back of the battle. Now those 5 cars all fighting for position. They're running 4th at the moment. The leader there of that battle is 4th. That's Ian Anderson. He has a bit of a move at the back there. And Stefan Verhofstadt still continues to lead. And down the back stretch comes that enormous battle. There it is, Ian Anderson and Lewis Manley trying one side and the other. There's the red-suited Lewis Manley. He's really starting to get bored at the back of Ian Anderson, I think, Lee.
Yeah, he's definitely got a pace on him. It's where he can run way past. There's not many spaces here, he's going to have to create one. So hopefully there's no contact. It's been fair so far.
Absolutely, Lee. And if you look at Lewis Manley, now's the time to do something if he's going to do it, because there's a bit of a gap there between him and Matt Barsh, who's just behind him. And we see, a side-by-side move down the back stretch again. Incredible performance. But if Lewis is going to do something, now's the time, because Matt Barsh is significantly far behind. He can't jump it.
Yes, they seem to have broken away. I feel that, like I said, I think Thomas will be in the second. They both got Piers. Literally between him and Ian now for the 10th place position.
Yeah, timing, we're not sure how much work going on. We won't know at the end of the race. The big announcement screens will be wrong. Figure out whether it's recorded the rest of the time or not.
We know what time.
Okay, so we know that the timing isn't being shown particularly well, but that's okay. They know what the results are. It's just the screens are showing a previous timing situation. However, we know what the positions are. We can see where it is. So on the back straight there, coming around that bend into the stadium area, there he is, Stefan Verhofstadt. The 21 car, he still is not pitting. He's the race leader. So Stefan Verhofstadt is the race leader with a huge lead second place, coming down the back straight now. The pit helmet, it's Piers Pryor. There's Piers Pryor. Now Verhofstadt and Pryor have not pitted. There is Conor Marsh, he has pitted, he is third. Conor Marsh has pitted, he is third. And here's the battle. Fourth, Anderson. Fifth, Manley. Sixth, Barsh. Sixth is Remy Daska, and behind him is Sam Spinell, and then it's Michael Weddle and Johnny Elliott bringing up the rear. Here's Stefan Verhofstadt. Will he pit this time? No, he won't. I think Stefan's going to pit on the very, very last opportunity. What do you think, Luke?
Yes, I mean, he can pit now. I don't think he's worried. He's got to keep driving his race over part of the tail, and he'll win it.
Absolutely. Surely Verhofstadt now knows that Conor Marsh, in fact, nobody's near enough for him, so he doesn't even need to worry whether they pit or not. He has such a space behind him that surely he's going to come out in the lead. But this is still looking pretty good for Conor Marsh, though, because Conor Marsh is close enough to Piers Pryor that when Pryor pits, in fact, Verhofstadt's in the pits. Stefan Verhofstadt, the race leader, pits. His first stop is good, his second stop is good, but he could afford to nip to the loo on this one because he comes out with a massive lead. No problem there. Piers Pryor second. Piers Pryor's in pits. Now this is crucial for Conor Marsh. Conor Marsh picks up second place. So Conor Marsh is secure second. What a result by the young man there, Conor Marsh. Piers Pryor though is making his stop, and that's put into the back of that group there. In fact, he comes out only just ahead of Weddle and Elliott. So Piers Pryor resumes in 8th place there. We've had him up in the commentary box here a few times today, so everyone at home watching online has been able to hear from Piers Pryor, but he's not able to do it in the semi-final. He could well be out of the event. Alright, there's Conor Marsh coming through, and look at this, Manley and Ian Anderson, but it's upside down. Manley's got a real good shot in this time. No, it's not now. They see Manley in the red suit. He's following behind Ian Anderson. They're crossing the line there, that's over the line, and Manley's still working on the back of Anderson. Really, Lee, I'm not sure that Lewis Manley's got any answer for Ian Anderson, do you think?
Well, there's not many spaces to get through, so yeah, like I say, he's a great one. He's definitely quicker. He's definitely got that pace on him. You can see he's driving around the outside, but Ian is defending very well at the minute, so very tough.
Absolutely, it's almost textbook defended by Ian Anderson. He's soaking under pressure. There he is on screen, leading Manley and Barch and Draska, and who's the boy, Sam Spinell, of course, at the tail of that group. There they are in the smell section, on the back of the TV picture, as once again Ian Anderson soaking up so much pressure. Lewis Manley absolutely glued to his back bumper. Stefan Verhofstadt puts another lap in. There he is on screen now. There's Conor Marsh, the second place driver. His third and fourth. Manley trailing Ian Anderson. There's Matt Barsh, and that's Remy Daska. Remy Daska with the black and silver helmet. Essentially, in the collision there. Oh, into the wall, Matt Barsh. And my goodness me, that all got very messy indeed. As we figure out what happened, it was Lewis Manley made a move on Ian Anderson, clearly getting impatient. They got together, and Matt Barsh went round the outside and slammed the wall himself. So Matt Barsh was in the wall, and an incredible moment down there on the final corner, and well, that's Lewis Manley was the big loser in that one, and the big gainer was probably Ian Anderson, because for the first time in this race he doesn't have an awful lot of pressure behind. Matt Barsh was the one who went into the barrier. He's got Remy Daska behind him, and the recovering Lewis Manley is all over the back of Remy Daska, and Sam Spinell runs behind them with Piers Pryor behind that. So Lee, do you feel in the time we've got remaining that we've got Anderson coming down the back straight now with Barsh behind him? There we are, if you look on screen, there's Anderson and there's Barsh. I think Barsh can always move there. Daska nice makes a move on Barsh, and Lewis Manley tries to make something of it too, but Barsh recovers. What do you think of that move there, Lee Hackett?
Very, very nice move. Nice and late on the brakes into the corner. I don't know why he left that gap. I think the Tom's career now secured, so he was quite forward to should have been defending.
And that was the first time he hadn't defended robustly, really, and paid the price. Yeah. Here comes Remy Daska. We can see him on screen now, coming past the pit stands, crossing the line once more. Surely not much of this race left. With the time down, we don't know how many laps. Oh, 3 minutes remaining, so probably not often. Oh, in a moment there, Daska has been pushed out of the place by Matt Barsh, and Lewis Manley trying to take advantage. He can't, but well, Barsh just really giving a bit of what he received, but with a little bit more noise.
Well, I don't know, I missed the move. It sounded like there was a bit of contact. But definitely was fair the other way, so I missed that one.
Yeah, that's true. Remy Draska was made the move on Barsh without making any kind of sound, and as soon as Barsh made the move, it was a lot of plastic against plastic sounding. Now, what's going to happen here this time as he come down? Let's take that all around the outside. Draska around the outside.
Done it?
Has Draska done it? Yes, he has, but they're coming into a tight heaven. Draska, move of the meeting.
Oh, Piers is through on
And Piers is battling Spinel, but he's going to be coming into hairpin, he's going to lose the place. Remy Draska, was that the move of the event? Because he went round the outside the hairpin, he had the inside, then he had to go round the outside again of another hairpin. What did you think of that one, Lee?
Stunning move, I haven't seen that done all weekend. Around the outside of that corner. Awesome.
Absolutely, so Remy Draska, possibly the move of the event, that really was outstanding. Lewis Manley now having a look at Barsh, he's sideways, he's off. Lewis Manley spins out. Lewis Manley, where's he gone? He's disappeared. Lewis Manley is off and he's facing the wall. The marshals are going to have to get him back on the track. There's Lewis Manley. Oh, what a thing there. And Verhofstadt puts Manley a lap down. Manley's competition surely could be over with that one though. What a terrible shame. I bet Lewis Manley wishes he hadn't even tried that first move on Anderson ages ago that put him back down the order and so on.
A risk, an unnecessary risk there. I don't know why he did it. He's in court, he's secured for the final. He's now, he might push through in 10th position, something like that, but he's going to struggle.
Absolutely, that's
so silly.
Probably the difference you see between someone a little bit more racing, a bit more impetuous like Lewis Manley, than some of the bits in European drivers who really think their way through these races. Stefan Verhofstadt though, he's going to take the flag on this one, and Lewis Manley a lap down behind. So there's Verhofstadt taking the flag, Manley a lap down, and Manley really dropped to low position there. And incredible second place, Conor Marsh. Here comes Conor Marsh, a worthy second. Surely Marsh might be in the final. And there's Ian Anderson. And here comes Remy Draska. Remy Draska, he deserves to be in the final for that move alone, I think. That was a great move. And Barsh fourth, I think, or Barsh fifth, Barsh fourth possibly. And well, we'll see how this one shakes down. That was the third and last of the semi-finals. And the winner there was Stefan Verhofstadt. That's the best performance we've seen from him. He's put in some great shows earlier on, and in fact he's even won. But what a job there. The semi-final, the most convincing one we've seen in the semis. So we've just got the final to organise now. We'll be giving you the information on who's through and who's not, and it'll be race on. So join us in a little while when we've organised all of that.
I really enjoyed that. The first bit of controversy from that.
I'm delighted with Conor. I spent all the year racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's been a good thing for him. I mean, that's a great show. I mean, I can't believe how that he's one of the few who's made that early pit stop work, really.
Yeah,
just getting out ahead of Anderson was the key, wasn't it?
Yeah, he knew he was quicker.
Yeah.
And there was enough of a gap behind him. So
That was kind of expecting.
Have you got times?